Thank you, everyone. And please, let me just switch it to speaker view so the recording is correct. Maoz, would you like to start? Or Maayan, would
Uh,
you like to start?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, so it's our turn. Okay.
it's your turn.
Ozzy?
yeah, so hi everyone. It's great to see some familiar faces and some that for the first time. And we've been working on it for quite some time and it's happening. So sometimes, many times, dreams do come true. I will just apologize sometime between the webinar. I will need to find a space in my home to speak from. So if I'm disappearing or moving, that's me being moved around the house. Thank
Okay.
you, everyone.
I'll be the stable one. Um, so I don't know, I think no one here. And I first want to say thank you very much for this meditation. And I can sense the really strong hug that was coming, was around me. So thank you so much. I'm already like feeling gratitude and bliss. And we did prepare something, but actually, like we used to, um, you know, life is happening and like in the moment. And I think a lot of what we are wanted to maybe to speak about and to give example is the freedom to choose at at the spot, like with present, with awareness at the moment. What is the alignment? Yeah, for for life coming through me in this moment. So, Mozi, would you
Yeah,
like me to share a little bit the pictures and we'll talk or?
yeah, I can start and yeah, and you can maybe share as we do. So first, we are two of five siblings. We have an elder sister, Mo, then Maayan, Maoz, and Magal, a younger sister, and a younger brother, Magen. Um, and what we said after losing both our parents on October 7th, that we'll share about the day, but where we were raised and growing up, that we were prepared. We were prepared, the five of us, to the moment of their death. We knew exactly what to do, what to say, and how to act. And I'm sure some of you know who prepared us for this tragic moment. Of course, it was our beloved parents, Bila and Jacobi. And in the last 2 years and few months, we've been on this journey, and we are on this journey together as the children of Bila and Jacobi. Many times we agreed and align on everything. Sometimes we don't, and but we still share our feelings. Um, Thoughts and ideas basically about everything we feel and think. And it's a real honor to be here with you. And we're gonna leave at least 20 minutes for questions at the end. So we also want it to be like a discussion, not just us speaking, even though we both love to speak and we can speak for hours. But we also want to give the floor to you and for your thoughts and reflections. So as you can see from Maayan presentation, our mom was a mandala painter.
Just wanted to
And
know if you see share the screen, do you see it good or yeah?
yeah, it's
Okay.
working.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and we were born and raised in Kibbutz Niram, about a mile away from Gaza. This is from when Maayan will know better about
What? This
the
one,
this
yeah,
one. Yeah.
when we lived in the kibbutz, yeah, we were traveling a lot in the area of the Negev. And when we grew up, we had like a very close relationship with the land. My father, as you see in the picture, he was an agriculture expert, an agronomist, and I called him the doctor of the plants because it was really an amazing experience to walk with him. And Maoz did work with him a few years, and it was just amazing to see that how he felt the 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 land and the plants, and he knew like from distant he knew exactly how much water they get and if they need something. um, and he became a worldwide, or I'd say probably in Israel for sure, but he was an expert for crops, and people were asking him, you know, from morning till evening questions about the fields and how to grow and what to plant. Um, and also, I want to say about him that he was very eye to eye person. He was very simple in his mind, and treated people with dignity, no matter if they were um, small or big, like your course said, small or big, ugly or beauty, woman or man. Um, he really was a man of love, peace and love. Um, it now we understand that more, but this is who he was. And one thing that he taught us, that you don't have to speak a lot, but to be what you mean. And like give an example, not by force, not with a lot of effort, but just by who you are, to be a good example of human being, and to take care of yourself, of your family, and of your neighbors. Because if you take care for your neighbors, then it's a better environment for your children. Um, and like Mao said, I can speak about him and of course my mom a lot, but just picking the sentences that that comes now. So I'll finish here about our father, and Maozi, you'll
Yeah,
say
so
a few things.
Maayan, if you can go back to the previous
Yeah,
slide,
I can try.
try, yeah. Because
uh,
there was one letter, it was written in Hebrew,
yeah.
Ahava, love. Okay,
Here.
in the previous, you see here on the top, Maayan can show you, it's love. And also in the next one, Maayan, if you can share the next one from their kitchen.
Yes, this one.
Yeah, so on the right one, this is mom in the studio, and again, also the word love. And this is our dining table in Netiva Asara, where we moved in 1991 after growing up in Iran, a mile away from Gaza. We said it's time to move out from the kibbutz, and if we're already moving out, let's get closer to Gaza, right? It makes a lot of sense to get closer to Gaza and build a wooden house only 200 meters from what will become the most invested wall humanity ever built. When we were growing up, it was early 80s, late 70s. It was a very peaceful time in the region. It was very peaceful time. There was nearly no border, maybe a metal fence between Israel and Gaza. There was movement of people, of goods. Um, so there was nearly no barrier. And during the
I just put the map, Maozi, just to
yeah,
show that.
I don't like this map, but okay.
I know, but just to
But
understand how how it looks like,
yeah,
and
but again,
really,
again, and I'll tell you
yeah.
exactly why I don't like this map.
Okay, okay. I take it
Because
off. Oh no,
this
no.
map, uh, so no, let's go back to the dining
Yeah.
room table.
Oh, sure.
Okay, because every evening in the kibbutz, we were eating dinners together, not in the dining room, just the family. And every evening, our father will share how devastating the situation in the field is. It's very difficult to be a farmer, the manager of the farm, agronomist, agriculture advisor in the Negev. There are droughts and floods and heat wave and cold wave and insects and wildfires. Every day there was a new catastrophe. And while he was sharing about this day catastrophe, he would also say, but next year I will sow wheat again because next year will be a better year. I'm not going to pray for it. I'm not going to believe in it. I know that next year will be better, but it's up to me. I have the agency to change the future, even if not to predict it. I will learn from my mistakes. I will consult with other farmers. I will get the best seeds. I will fertile the land. I will make it ready for the rainwater to come. And in October, once again, doesn't matter how catastrophe this season was or is, I will sow knowing that next year will be better. And this is basically what we, the children of Bila and Jacobi, took upon ourselves. We know, we know that next year will be better, but we know it's up to us. We cannot wait for no one else. It's up to us to make next year better. And my mom was painted thousands of mandala, and her studio was open to children, to youth, to adults and elderly. Everyone who came was welcome to come and paint his own mandala. And I received only one mandala for my mom. And in that mandala that she gave me in 2016, she wrote all her dreams filled if we have the courage to chase them. And I didn't know what she was talking back then, and it was written within a mandala, within a circle, so you really need to work out to understand what is written there. But on October 7th, I realized what is written there. And I know that the dream of peace is something that if we have the courage to chase, we're going to fulfill it. And this is our mission nowadays. This is why we are here speaking to you. And this is, for me, it's a life mission and my daily also, but also my daily task or work. And this is what we're doing. And we'll share with you also what we are doing nowadays. Maya, maybe you want to share a bit on October 7th? You are mute.
Yeah,
You are
yeah,
muted.
yeah. So I chose this picture also because this is the wall of the safe room. Okay, it's like
We don't see it, Mayani.
you don't see it?
No, you need to share again.
Okay.
Exit, maybe share again.
Okay, sorry.
Now share again.
Okay. You see it now?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the wall that the only room in their house, like Maoz said, that was built from concrete was the safe room. Everything else was from wood. So this is the outer wall of the safe room that my mom needed everything to be beautiful. And she didn't want to feel that she lives in a dangerous place. So, as an artist, and the special soul that she was, so she made this wall a common creation from all the family. So you see this child, she's bigger now, but here everyone contribute, and this is we our sister Magal, um, and my mom here, and every one of us did something on that wall, and this is became, the atmosphere of the yard, and just for an example, and um, I will show you not this one, but afterward, in October 7, this is what we saw, we received that happened to the beautiful place that my mom and my father were. I'm sorry, but I will move on. And I will tell you, but afterward. Okay, so on October 7, actually, all the family, we were supposed to be with them. And Maoz, thankfully, asked to change the location of the meeting because it was a holiday to the center of Israel, to Tel Aviv, to our bigger sister, Mo. And they came to Tel Aviv, and we were celebrating on the October 6th in the evening. We were celebrating the holiday together. At midnight, we left her place. Everyone got back to their own house, and we went to sleep. And then each one of us was in a different place, but all of us woke up and sensed that something is happening and something is like wrong in the body. We were trying to reach them. Maoz did manage to speak with my father. They were writing on the WhatsApp of the adults of the family that they are sitting in the safe room. There are bombs and missiles and a lot of gunfire, and they don't know what's going on. The house is locked, and they are in the safe room, which was okay, not usual. Not all the time they were doing that. So we understand that something different is going on. Very, very early, they didn't, when I woke up, I tried to call them 7:30. They didn't answer. And I was calling to my sister and then to Maoz, and Maoz was already online, and he knew, he saw things. And then I saw my father near me, like coming in my home, he was very present, and I saw the end, like he coming to hug me, and I felt him saying that they gone with peace in their own way. And it's the same hug that I felt before when you did the meditation. It's a very strong feeling. And since that moment, I knew that they were gone. And I called Maoz, and and we called everyone and said, let's meet, let's be together, and let's meet. And everyone came to my home. I lived in the Moshav Aviel, which was enough room, and everyone came to me. And we called our little brother in London to buy a ticket. And at that time, no one knows what's going on. Like Israel is in complete shock and chaos, and nobody knows what is going on. And we are I think what was 11, we are all together with the children, everyone, we are together at my place, and we are starting to speak and think and to understand what's going on. That evening, we didn't know what's going on till that evening, that the security man from their village called us and say that the house were completely burned, like you saw. It was dark. They can't find my parents, our parents. And they will come back early morning with the sunlight to see what's going on, because they cannot, and there are still bombs and missiles, so they cannot check. So at that moment, we just like received a reassurance that what we felt, what we knew is the truth, that they passed away. We didn't know how. Only later we discovered what happened in this village, Netiv Asara. I will say it very briefly that three Nukhba people from Hamas came through the air, landed in 3 different spots in the village, and managed to kill 21 people, among them our parents. The only house that burned down was their house. The other houses were not damaged, almost like maybe a little. Those 3 Nukhba people got out back. One was killed in the village, and the other 2 managed to go back to Gaza. We sat down together when we received this message, and we decided that we are doing a Shiva. The Shiva is a Jewish custom to sit 7 days of mourning. Usually you do it after you buried your loved ones. I don't know now I think it was really, we didn't think it, we just felt. It was not from the mind, it was completely felt deeply that we need to be together. and we have nowhere to go, and we are doing the Shiva, even though we didn't bury, and we don't know what happened to them. And in early morning Sunday, October 8th, we published a notice that we are sitting Shiva for our parents, Bila and Yaakov Inon. And we thought about what to write about in this notice. And then our nephew, Mai, she suggested the sentence that they were people of love and seekers for peace. And that's what we wrote, right, Mosey? It was like
I'm not sure, but maybe.
loving people and אוהבי אדם ורודפי שלום,
Yeah.
and seekers for peace. So I think in that first notice on October 8th, we put the mantra that will guide us through all the days that will follow. It was really came to us from them. What else? So I can speak.
Yeah, I will take it from here.
Yeah, thank you.
So, and definitely to those who know me now, the last 2 years and few months been the most meaningful years of my life. I went through a spiritual and mind growth, and I have found or created a new me, a new Maoz. And it started from the pain, from the suffering, and from the loss. So totally accept it and be there. And also being supported, receiving the guidance and inspirational support from both Palestinian Israelis and other spiritual leaders, and letting myself first drowning in an ocean of sorrow and pain, and realizing the way to heal myself is by choosing that I can choose to heal myself through peace and reconciliation. And it was our young brother that in the second day of the Shiva asked us to send to agree and then spread the universal message that we reject revenge, that we don't want to revenge the death of our parents, explaining us that by revenging the death, we're not going to bring them back to life, and will only escalate the cycle of fear, bloodshed, that both Palestinian and Israelis been trapped within for a century. The conflict didn't start on October 7th. It didn't start on the second intifada or the first intifada. It started about a century ago, and he encouraged us to pave a new path, to break this trap and this cycle, and to create a spirala. Maybe Maayan, you have a mandala of spirala that we
I have
can
it.
reshape
Yeah.
the cycle into a spirala of growth, of love, of empathy. And this is what we've been doing ever since. And I will share 3 lessons that I learned. And it's also for me, it's a mantra that so I'm saying it a few times a day now. The lesson of hope, the lesson of the future, and the lesson of forgiveness. And I learned it mostly from Palestinian peacemakers. After dialoguing, after crying together, after hugging each other, and acknowledging each other pain and suffering. Hope is an action. Hope is not something we create or lose or can find. Hope is something we create together by envisioning a better future and acting. And this is also we learn from our father. It's not the words you say, it's how you act, how you act. Judge each human being by his actions. If then my kitten cat wants to come in, say hi to everyone. Yeah, can you see him? Yes. Uh, so hope is an action, and for those of you that are not in Israel, this is maybe what you hear from here is again mostly horrifying news and reality of unimaginable numbers of casualties in Gaza on October 7th, and now in the West Bank too. But at this darkest times, we are creating hope. So many Palestinian Israelis. We are doing peace work. We are doing peace summits. We are doing protective present. We are doing Woodstock for peace. We are doing retreat for peace. So many actions that Israelis and Palestinians are taking together and creating hope. The second lesson is that yes, the gap, the differences between Israelis and Palestinians is as wide as ever. The division was never as big as now. But Israelis and Palestinian, and I will add humanity, we all meet in the future. We meet in the same future that is based on our shared humanities and our shared values of equality and dignity, shared acknowledgement and recognition, reconciliation and healing, security and safety. And now, when we know the values of the future, we just need to start modeling and live upon them in our daily life, but definitely on our peace work. And the third lesson, which is the most difficult one, is the lesson of forgiveness. I heard it first from a Palestinian activist, Hamza Awade, who was interviewed at the CNN with our young brother Magen. And Hamza say there that he is willing to forgive about the past, he is willing to forgive about the present, but he won't and cannot forgive about the future, not to himself and to no one else. So I start walking and thinking about his words. And then after partnering with Aziza Busara, who we just going to publish a book soon, maybe I'll have time to talk about it,
Here.
whose brother was killed in the Israeli prison when his brother was 18 and Aziz was 10 years old. And for 8 years, he was full of anger, seeking revenge, and wanted to punish the other side. And then he realized that by seeking revenge, he is a slave to those who killed his beloved brother. He is living the destiny they chose for him and not what he chose for himself. And the freedom, the way to free himself is by choosing forgiveness. But not because the other side asked for it, not because they deserve it. He's doing it for himself, to save himself from the prison of hate and revenge. And I was asking myself, Maoz, if you also want to be a free man, like Hamza and Aziz, who shall you forgive? And then I decided to practice radical forgiveness. I forgive those who murdered my parents. I forgive those who are accountable for the death. I'm not seeking that anyone will be punished. I will take responsibility or accountability or anything. We, humanity, been punished enough. Now we just need to create justice into the future. You cannot make justice into the past. Only
I
towards the future. I'm finishing in a second. And after choosing forgiveness, I was able to become a new human being, and very positive, very energetic, very creative. And like the last 2 years were the best years of my life. I cry few times a day. I'm sad few times a day. But it's the best time of my life. And this amazing season period has only started because so much good is going to come soon So it's amazing that we'll be able to witness it. So, so I'm really excited about the future.
So every time, and I heard Maoz, oof, I can't, you know, a lot. And also I hear myself a lot. And there's always this even need, I would say, to bring my difficulties to be in this radical forgiveness that Maoz is speaking about. I can understand that as an idea, but for me, who is I dedicated my life to sense emotions and to respect the emotions and the work with people. I am a therapist, so to be very sensitive to you know, in acupuncture. I'm also an acupuncturist, and I'm diagnosing by pulse. And in order to diagnose by pulse, you need to hear very, very delicate movements. So I am very sensitive, and to say something like I forgive everyone, I push back. For me, I'm losing myself. And we had a lot of conversation between the brothers. We have a meeting every week, our five siblings, and we Zoom every week, and we're speaking, we are sharing each one what is going on with him, and we are talking, and we are consulting each other. And many times I told Maoz, listen, it's too far away from me. Like I cannot understand, and you are too far. I cannot keep up with the great ideas which I want to believe in. And we became to understand that each one of us has a different way to grieve, and a different way to heal, and a different pace to work with himself or herself. But we all share the vision, and we all share the same values, that life should be every soul being that came into this time to life has the ability to live in safety, in dignity, with the option to prosperity and to development. And that you know, that's how our parents taught us. And so all of us are sharing these values, and each one of us needs to go through his own process of grieving and choosing, and find the courage to say those words, even when the environment is very violent. And this is what we understand, and support each other on the way. I think
We want to open maybe for a discussion,
yeah,
for
I
questions.
think for questions.
Sure, thank you. Maybe we can undo the sharing, Maayan, so we can see everyone's,
Yeah,
because you're still
sure.
sharing, so it controls the screen.
Yeah. Stop share. Yeah.
So, and so yeah, maybe this time we will use the raising hands because we can't see everybody on one screen. So Leora has her hand up, and then it will be Ira, and just keep putting your hands up, your electronic hands up, and then we'll. So go ahead and Leora.
Oh, sorry. Bowing. Thank you so much, Maayan and Maoz. And I just would like to hear more, Maoz, about what you do with Aziz and about your book and about your movie.
Okay, great. So I will also share now on the chat my link tree with many interviews, and the first one is the for the book page, and I will share about the book now. That's my link tree. So we just gonna publish a book with Crown Publishing in the US and Canongate in the UK, a shared journey across the Holy Land. The future is peace. That's the title. And the book is basic. Both Aziz and I are experienced tour guide and tourism businessmen, and we're inviting you, Leora, and the others to join us on this journey that is taking place 8 days, and it's 8 chapters book, and each chapter is taking place in a different geographical location. We are starting from where we were born and raised, Niram, Netiv Asara, and Gaza, of course. The second day, Jaffa, Tel Aviv. The third day, East Jerusalem. Then Old City of Jerusalem, 2 days in the West Bank, 1 day in Nazareth, and 1 day in the Galilee. And as the journey goes, we also traveling in 4 dimensions of time: history, theology, and mythology. That even though it happened or didn't happen, a millennium of years ago, they are still controlling our life. The second dimension is 100 years of conflict. The third is Aziz and my stories and our families. And the third dimension is peace. And as we travel in the land and in the dimensions, we are transforming despair into hope, revenge into reconciliation, and trauma into healing. And the book is a toolkit, a manual, how we can bridge over the divides, not only in Israel and Palestine, but also in the US and in Europe and for humanity. And we are sharing many things, and we are also meeting people, peacemakers, and also people who suffered greatly because of the conflict. And we prove that there is only one possible future, only one, and this future is peace. And you are welcome to join our journey. It's not an easy journey, but it's very powerful and exciting. And you can already pre-order the book. And we're also going to do a book tour in April in the US. So follow me on my social media. It's also on the link tree that I shared. You are more than welcome. And also the book is about our family and our parents. And I was just interviewed to two podcasters earlier today, and they told me, we read your book and we fell in love with Taisir, Aziz's brother, and with you, Maoz, your parents. So it's very emotional, and we show a lot of vulnerability. And for two guys, that's something that is not easy to show our vulnerability. And we believe in leadership through vulnerability, not through strength, definitely not military strength. So this is, we believe, the leadership quality of the future. The future is peace. I will
Yes.
share it also.
So Ira, if you'd like to.
Thank you. Oh, hey, Bernie. And
How
thank
you
you.
doing? If anybody was getting Jim the piano,
Somebody needs to mute.
I don't know. I don't see him. I'm gonna go down and see if he. He's got a doctor's appointment. Okay. Thank you for thinking of him. Yeah, you.
Lisa, will you please mute yourself? Go ahead, Ira.
Thank you. Toda rabah. First, I just want to say that I found both of you so inspiring and so beautiful, and I'm really glad to have come to this today. I actually have two questions. One is when Avi was doing the meditation, and there was this a part of it about recognizing preferences, and I think one of the examples that you gave was we prefer, protesters over ICE agents, which of course to us in the United States is a very live thing right now because of what's going on in Minneapolis. So I notice, of course, these preferences in myself. How do you, Maoz and Maayan, how do you reconcile those? I find it beyond comprehension to be able to say, I hold the people who murdered my parents and did these horrible atrocities with the same kind of compassion that I hold the victims and everyone else. So that's a very difficult idea for me, and I wonder if you can speak to that.
Maayan, you want to start?
I think I'm not sure. I'm suggesting something because I think it's a very important question. It's very deep question for me because I'm not like in. It's very good questions and difficult one. And Avi asked me to come also the next meeting, right, Avi, if it's still on, basically to talk a little bit more in details about how you reconcile with those parts of you, right, that having a really hard times to deal with the situations and to deal with the the forgot the word in English, أخضريوت, cruelty,
Quality. Mm-hmm.
cruelty, and it's beyond cruelty. I can't understand a person that behave like those. I used to say animals, but my daughter said, don't say animals. Animals don't act like that. So, how you reconciling inside truly with those kinds of deeds. And I think it's a deep question. So maybe I prefer to wait with it, with the answer.
Okay.
And
Maybe I
let's
can
go.
because okay, I
Yeah, Maoz,
okay.
for Maoz, it's simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each one of us, within each one of us, there is a monster and there is an angel, which is in each one of us. We can choose to be a monster and we can choose to be an angel. This is the divine that within us, that we can choose how we want to act in this world. And the only way to make a monster back into an angel is only by looking to her in the eye. You cannot kill a monster by beheading it, by building a wall, erasing, bombing, or oppressing it. The only way to kill a monster is to look to her in the eye and start listening to her pain, to her own trauma, to her own suffering, and her dreams and aspiration. And when we start dialoguing with the monster, we start humanizing it. And we give in the book the example of the monster Medusa. That wasn't born a monster. She was born a Greek lady that devoted her life to the goddess of Athens, and she worshipped Athens in her temple, and she was raped by one of the gods, and her trauma wasn't healed, wasn't treated. She was cursed to become a monster. But if we look to her in the eye, we won't become into a stone like the mythology says. Exactly the opposite. We'll humanize her. We'll make her back into an angel. But that's only the easy part. The most difficult part and challenging part is that we too will become humanized again. And peace is not easy, and peace is not it together can be also ugly. And reality prove, unfortunately, that many times those who make peace, they were war criminals the day before. They will make peace. So we need to give them the potential to transform themselves from monster to an angels, from warmongers to peacemakers. The potential is within each one of us. But we as the peacemaker need to teach them how to become peacemakers. And then
I
we'll need to
want to,
reconcile with the wrongdoing they were doing in the past. Because if we all will only look for justice, they will stay monsters. The reconciliation is a ladder for a ladder for the warmongers and war criminals to come back to their humanity. And it's difficult, but it can be done. And it's a choice that we need to make as peacemakers. Are we willing to reconcile with the monsters? If the answer is yes, and it is yes, there will be peace.
Thank you very much. Taraba. I'm
Thank
not
you,
going to
Aaron.
ask my second question because I see other people have hands up and I don't want to take all the time.
So, Regina, if you'd like to go next.
Oy, Rav Todot. I'm so grateful to be here with all of you, and especially with you, Maoz and Maayan. Maoz, I've heard you before. I don't disagree with anything you say. And for me, the war that goes on within me is beyond the conceptual. I can give all the concepts in the world. And so I was especially grateful to hear the little dialogue between the two of you, Maayan and Maoz, about how in your shared struggle for peace, in your shared family love, you are navigating your differences in how you are in the world. And maybe Maayan, I know you said you're going to do a whole thing about that at another time, but maybe you could talk a little about that in terms of the kind of embodied peace building that goes beyond the concepts and the words, and whether we agree with each other or not.
so first, thank you for this question. It makes me cry. Because really for me, one of the strongest values and things that is important for me is our family and our relationship inside between us. And we have many voices in our family, that it's not easy to like how it can work together. Okay. Maoz, as you know, and those of you who knows him, he's very radical, and I believe him. He is is truly one with his words, but sometimes for me, it seems I cannot be there. So it can be very frustrating for me that I can't find the gap, okay, or the bridge. And I have a daughter, which she's 16 now, 16 years old, and she is like many other young people in Israel. She is becoming more religious, more right-wing. She thinks Ben Gvir is maybe the one who says the truth in the face, and she believes in it, and she's my daughter. So I have to deal with it every day, like all the time. And for me, it's really interesting. It goes also to the last question about reconciliation. How can you reconcile with those people who thinks that all Arabs should be dead or all Israeli should be dead? How can you reconcile? So Maoz is teaching me a lot about it. That if people don't want to listen, don't want can't, they cannot be open to different voices. So maybe it's a waste of time, and don't waste time to talk with them. But in the family, for me, it's not a waste of time. So I have to find a way to make bridges, and I have to find a way how to stay in my peace, in my presence, and believe, and be brave enough to say that maybe what I think is not the whole thing. And the bigger picture is it knows itself, and it's always in movement, like you said before, like Thich Nhat Hanh said. Things are always moving. So I have to be in my presence, but allow me to see the changes that keeps happening. And things are pretty amazing. Like Mao said, it's an amazing time. And when I'm not fearful, which sometimes I am, but when I'm not, and I can see that, then it's very, very strong, and it gives me the energy to go on. Thank you. Yeah, maybe
Maybe
two.
last question, because I also need like
Yeah, okay, maybe one or two questions, depends. Yeah.
So it looks like Adi has let go. There was two others, so it looks like it's Bev. It's your question. The last question is yours, Bev.
Well, in a way, I feel as if Maayan answered my last question, but also gave me another way of looking at it, which is I was thinking about people like my brother, my sister, my nephew. My brother lives in northern Israel, and they all, I think, believe that Arabs hate all Jews, irredeemable, and it would be better if they didn't exist. And as you were speaking, Maayan, it made me realize that it's as if these people who have these beliefs were standing on an invisible chair. And if I pull at the chair to say your beliefs are not correct, it's as if I'm going to make them fall.
Exactly. It's
And
dangerous for them.
yes, and that helps me to feel less angry.
Yeah.
So thank you for planting the seed for me to see it differently. So that's all. Thank you.
I want to say that as a therapist, I'm very sensitive also for the trauma, and I think many, if not all, um, are still in a state of great fear, and maybe the trauma has gone, but it resonates, and the war that is finished, it doesn't feel like it finished. So still the atmosphere and the ground is very, very unstable and shaky, and that makes people very frightened, not only in Israel but all in the States and actually all over the world. So it takes a lot of work and a lot of courage, a lot of practice, a lot of choices, remake the choices all the time to be uh, centered, and not to forget, and not to justify yourself that you still believe in peace. Just find the confidence in your own being, and then you don't have to speak about it all the time. You just this is what you believe in, and this is okay, and you can allow yourself to be that person that holds the center.
Thank you, Mayani.
Ah,
Happy everyone.
his brother. So we're laughing, but I give you. Okay, so this is it for now. Yeah, and thank you so much for inviting us, Avi. You will finish. You'll say a few words maybe to finish, to close it up. And for those of you who wishes to a little bit go deeper with those kind of questions that are maybe more personal, so I'll be here again.
Thank you both so very much. Let me just end the recording.